Hi everybody, welcome to the Kentucky 4-H virtual experience. Today we're going to concentrate on SET or Science, Engineering, and Technology programs. My name is Torey Earle and I am an Extension Specialist for 4-H Youth Development with the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture, Food and Environment Cooperative Extension Service. Today's virtual experience focuses on something that is not necessarily related to an electric excitement curriculum book, but it's related to one of our more popular state fair projects, which is the original design either floor or table lamp. One of the big things our judges find each year is improper wiring in the lamp socket itself. Today we're going to look at how to properly wire the lamp socket, and that's going to include how to properly tie the stress relief knot or the underwriter's knot in your lamp socket itself to keep the wires from having stress or being pulled out. In properly wiring your lamp socket, you're going to have a safe and very stable and functional table or floor lamp. Now, as you would do this, again, always make sure before you work on anything related to an electrical project that you make sure that it is disconnected from the power source. Now, let's get started wiring our lamp socket. The tools and materials that you'll want to have on hand to learn about installing and wiring the lamp socket correctly are, first of all, a lamp socket. Now, these can be readily found at a local hardware store, or you can order them online. You'll want to have some lamp cord. Now, this that I have is a 16 gauge by 2 lamp cord, or 16-2. You'll want to have a screwdriver, a pair of wire strippers, a knife or other sharp tool to split the lamp cord wire so you can pull it apart, and you may also want to have a pair of needle nose pliers. In getting these supplies ready, make sure that you have everything you need before you start, so that way you don't have to stop in the middle and go get something else. One of the more important things in properly wiring a lamp socket is to make sure that you have strain relief on your cord. That means if the cord gets pulled, it does not pull the connection away from the lamp socket itself. The proper way to do that is to tie an underwriter's knot. Now, the underwriter's knot is not a complex knot to tie, but it does take a little practice. What you will do is you will take your lamp cord, which is split, take the right hand side and form a loop behind the left hand side and bring it up like so. Then you'll take the left hand side, come over the right hand side and back through the loop on the right hand side. Then pull it like so, and that gives you a strain relief knot that will not pull back down through the base of your lamp socket. When we start wiring our lamp cord to the socket itself, we'll tie this knot again, and I'll show you how it works for strain relief. In order to properly wire your lamp socket, one of the things you're going to have to do is make sure that you have a lamp socket, and let's look at the structure of that to begin with. This is the base that the lamp socket will snap into. Your lamp cord will come up through the bottom of it into this area and then be wired directly to the switch itself. This is a protective covering around the lamp socket itself. And we can take our switch out of that, and let's take a close look at our switch. You'll notice that it's got two screws on it. It has one silver screw and one gold or brass colored screw. The brass colored screw is for the hot wire, and it connects directly to the tab that is in the bottom of the switch itself. If you look at a light bulb, it will have a small button on the bottom of it, and that's what will touch this tab. The silver screw connects to the metal casing that the light bulb screws down into. This is our return, and it will take the electricity that flows through the brass screw into this tab, flows through the bulb, and returns back through this metal casing and the silver screw back to our ground. Now, in order to properly wire this, you're going to have to make sure that the hot wire or the inlet wire connects to the brass screw, and the return wire or the neutral wire connects to the silver screw. I have a way that I go about doing that, and this is a small piece of 16-2 lamp cord, and I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but one side of the cord has ridges on it and the other side is smooth. The smooth side also has printing embedded in it. What I like to do is make sure that I pay close attention to which side I wire to my lamp socket. I will usually wire the side with the printing to the hot side or the brass screw. And that will be really important for our next segment, which will be putting a plug on the end of our lamp cord. I usually, or will commonly wire the side that has the ridges on it to my negative, or my return screw or neutral screw. To start doing this, you're probably going to want to get your parents' help, because I'm going to take a sharp object, a knife, and I'm going to start by very carefully splitting the end of the lamp cord in order to separate the two wires. Once you split it, you can pull it apart and you will have two separate wires to work with. As we talked about earlier, to get strain relief to keep the wires from being pulled, you're going to tie you an underwriter's knot. First thing you will do is run your wires up through the lamp socket base, and this will usually be attached to a riser that runs through your lamp itself. And then our underwriter's knot, if you remember, we do a loop behind take the right wire, loop it behind the left wire, take the left wire, bring it around the right wire and through, around the left wire and through the loop in the right wire. and pull tight. As I pull this down, you will be able to see that this does not allow the wires to pull down and give some strain relief on the wires that are going to the lamp socket itself. What I want to do now is I want to trim these wires to the same length. So I can then attach them to my screws on my lamp socket. So I pull these tight, making sure that everything is snug down in my base. As I said, this is a 16 gauge wire. I'm going to look at my wire strippers, and I'm going to go to the 16 gauge stripping feature. I'm going to clamp around the wire, do a couple of turns, and pull the insulation off. I've got about an inch worth of wire here, and on lamp cord this is stranded wire. So you'll want to twist it so it doesn't fray. Now, some prefabricated lamp cords will have this wire with a little bit of solder on it, and that's called tinning the wire, so it won't fray. That it's been twisted and then it's been tinned so it won't fray. We haven't tinned this wire, so we're just going to twist it and make sure that it doesn't fray out. We're going to do the same thing with our other wire. I'm going to leave about an inch, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Do a couple of turns, and then strip our insulation off the wire, and then twist it so it does not fray. Now look at my wire. This is the one. This is the side of the wire that has the printing on it. So I will make a small loop in it, like that. I'm going to take my screwdriver. I'm going to loosen the gold colored screw, and then I'm going to loop that wire around that gold colored screw in the direction that the screw will tighten, because that way when I tighten the screw down, it pulls the wire underneath the screw instead of pushing it out, which would happen if I put it opposite the way the wire or the screw tightened. Going to make another loop in my neutral wire. Loosen the neutral screw. Put it around in the direction the screw tightens, and tighten it down. Now I have my neutral, my hot wire, my underwriter's knot. I will then slide the protective cap over the switch and snap my base in place, which the base will be on a riser coming up through the center of your lamp. You want to make sure that you get it on nice and snug, and that is a properly wired lamp socket. Now that we have a properly wired lamp socket, in our next session we'll look at how to install the plug on the other end of our lamp cord. In addition to that, We will also look at how to install a plug on a little heavier duty cord as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today and look forward to working with you next time on installing a plug. Thank you for joining me today for the Kentucky 4-H virtual experience focused on science, engineering, and technology. For more information about the 4-H SET program, please check out your local University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service.